If you weren't before, by the end of this video, I am certain I'll be able to make you a film fanatic. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joseph and I'm a film fanatic. Since the inception of this channel, I knew this video was bound to happen. I've kind of been anticipating it and I figured this is the best time. I find it funny how some movie lovers don't understand the significance of proper genre classification. Aside from the fact that it has been the downfall of a lot of good stories, a lot of audience members lack the understanding of the relevance or the type of intensity certain genres are supposed to evoke, and this obviously affects his digestion. Obviously, everyone has a favorite, and if you're not new here, you can probably guess my own. If you are new here, you should first subscribe because I talk about everything story related. It's horror. In order to help amazing, intelligent fanatics like yourself see the beauty in all these genres and enjoy every single story you come across, and also because I love to organize, I'm going to be discussing what I have identified as the 10 major genres. My opinions are my opinions. I will talk thoroughly, trust, but take it with a grain of salt and use it as a starting point to dive deeper into the world of fiction. So, without any more delays, let's get into it. Hold your pen and paper, there will be plenty recommendations in this video. Action. Pun intended. This genre is characterized by spectacle, large-scale explosions, intricate fight sequences, and over-the-top stunt work. The violence here is strong, and it can range from large-scale destruction to intimate physical fights. This is why most action movie stars have an extensive history of physicality. Characterization or even a lot of traditional story elements don't really carry a lot of weight in this particular genre, but when it does, it makes it a whole lot better. The genre is heavily dependent on exciting sequences and barely gives chance to talk. This is why some of the best one-liners always comes from action movies.
Say hello to my little friend!
It is usually very fun and intense and focuses on excitement and its ability to hype up its viewers. Common subgenres include disaster movies, karate movies, spy movies, and of course, superhero movies. Personally, I find a lot of action movies lackluster because watching all the rishi without depth doesn't really mean much. Nevertheless, there are a lot of action movies that have a special place in my heart. Some of my favorite action movies include Kill Bill, Matt Reeves' The Batman, and Mad Max Fury Road. This is my least favorite genre and is why I started with it. I wanted to get it out of the way first. Drama. On the other side of the spectrum, we have drama, and as the name implies, it deals with very grounded and humane conflicts. It is the oldest and you could argue the most versatile genre, and this is a good thing and a bad thing. A bad thing because it has been vandalized the most because of this. There are usually no larger than life elements, and it may even be slow paced and boring to some people, but that doesn't stop it from being entertaining. I find that dramas are usually the best at connecting with people because of the power of relatability. Having very real people deal with very real problems may seem boring, but at the same time, it allows a certain group of people to see themselves in movies and actually relate with what is going on. Stories in this genre can be driven by any of the traditional literary devices: setting, character, premise, theme, but just like any story, it is centered on conflict, and the bigger the conflict, the sweeter the drama. Everybody loves gist.
Stop. I did not kill him.
That's not the point.
Some of my favorite dramas include Anatomy of a Fall, Good Time, and 12 Years a Slave. Dramas are my Sunday morning movies. It's the perfect time, trust me. Sci-fi, the genre for nerds. Like me. This genre is incredibly unique because it is solely reliant on science and technology. It is very diverse and can range from stories based off abstract physical theories, including superpowers, to contact with any form of extraterrestrial life form, or just stories about unique or imaginative inventions. It easily evokes feelings of speculation and wonder. Throughout history, science and technology has always been a very controversial topic, and writers will definitely bank on that conflict. This is because science is literally steering the course of humanity as we know it, and this genre is going to speculate about every single thing that entails. It is primarily driven by plot or premise, obviously. Look at this cool gadget I found or made. It can... What do you mean a wormhole just opened in the middle of your house? Are you an alien? If the premise suffers in a sci-fi movie, it's going to affect the overall quality of the movie. It is fiction and shouldn't be factual, but many sci-fi lovers will tell you that if there are too many loopholes and vague elements, it's going to ruin it. Some of my favorite sci-fi movies include Ex Machina, Annihilation, and The First Terminator. The Terminator franchise is one of my all-time favorite movie franchises. Fantasy. This is another genre for wonder and speculation, but now based solely on human metaphysical lore and myths. It is usually whimsical and elaborate, and versatile enough to range from light-hearted fairy tales to gritty grimdarks. This genre also probably takes the crown for world building, even though sci-fi comes close. And for obvious reasons, it is usually easily intertwined with sci-fi. They are both genres of escapism, and because of this, very common amongst teenagers. The genre is arguably the most expressive due to the presence of magic, which has allowed it to escape with a lot of plot holes, but at the same time has generated a lot of tropes that I like the Chosen One trope.
Hey, she's only interested in you because she thinks you're the chosen one.
But I am the chosen one.
Some of my favorite fantasy movies include The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf, Pan's Labyrinth, and Spirited Away. For the longest time, I assumed fantasy was my favorite genre, but I just woke up one day and stopped deceiving myself. I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan. Thriller. I'm going to try and not be so biased because this is one of my favorites. The beauty in thrillers is in its ability to engage and entertain through suspense and subtle excitements. The intelligence in this genre lies in the pacing, knowing when and how to reveal and what to reveal, being able to hold tension and intrigue and still deliver in a very satisfying fashion. As a writer that has struggled to find this niche, I can objectively say thrillers are the most difficult to write. You have to know the ending from the beginning, and this actually makes me appreciate the works of Agatha Christie a whole lot more. This is also a genre that commonly explores morality very well. Read Agatha Christie. Under this genre, you have your murder mysteries, psychological thrillers, and crime thrillers. If I'm still engaged and asking questions while being entertained and seeing the artistic use of literary devices, it probably slapped as a thriller. Some of my favorite thrillers include Seven, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and Gone Girl. This is the genre that made me love David Fincher. Musicals. Now, it's easy to just say musicals are movies with singing, and that's true. But that is an unjust oversimplification and generalization, because there are musicals that can be about singing or even dance. Musicals are one of the two most emotionally charged genres, but this one lays emphasis on the auditory senses. Musicals became a thing with rising technology because once sound could follow visuals, people started singing. It was, and in some cases still is, the pinnacle of talent because people will always ask, okay, can they sing, dance, and act? The importance of singing to express emotions is based off one of the most powerful yet unexplainable elements of life: music. Adding music to anything, movies are no exception, will definitely make it better and gives a whole lot room for creativity. You should know if the songs are trash, the movie is going to be trash. The songs and the performances are the genge and should always be considered first in a musical. A lot of bad movies that were musicals have been saved with very good songs, while a lot of good movies that were musicals suffered because of bad songs. Some of my favorite musicals include Mamma Mia, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and La La Land. Feel free to quote me. People that hate musicals usually have a very rigid taste in music. Animation. I know this one might be a little controversial because people nowadays see animation as more of a cinematic tool than a genre of its own accord. But hear me out and follow this train of thought. Hundreds of years ago, storytelling was mostly just talking before they started doing plays. Many people might not have even reasoned the concept of a musical. Yes, there were songs about stories and stories based off songs. Similarly, based off available technology, people have always found animated ways to tell stories. If technological advancement can solidify musicals as its own genre, why not animation? I believe animation is the other emotionally charged genre, focusing on the visual senses. It allows us to experience stories through imaginative and theatrical displays that also do a powerful job of conveying emotions, not to talk of the artistic freedom it gives storytellers and artists. Some of my favorite animated movies include Kung Fu Panda, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, and Memoirs of a Snail. This is also a fave, and I can give you a whole lot more recommendations. Comedy. Now, this is probably the genre with the most misconceptions, and that is probably because it has gone through the most retcons. Some of the earliest classifications of genres give us only two: comedies and tragedies, making this one of the oldest genres on this list. Its age and all the convoluted retcons has actually made it quite big, but allow me to clear it up for you. You might think comedies are movies with a happy ending. You're right. You might also think comedies are movies powered by humor. You're right. But a term I came to when preparing for this video that I actually like is that comedies are movies that are centered on the feel-good sensation. As much as it is about joy and humor, it is also about peace and simple pleasures. This is why movies like The Holdovers pass as comedies. This genre of movies is supposed to make you feel good and warm inside. This is coming from me, the most frigid person you know. Whenever I watch a comedy movie, I expect to get at least a genuine smile, if not laugh. Dark comedies, mockumentaries, character comedies, parodies, and even blue comedies are all common subgenres under comedy. Some of my favorite comedy movies include Mean Girls, Three Idiots, and Bad Teacher. If you are supposed to feel good after watching a comedy movie, it is literally the market for comfort movies. Romance. This is also a very versatile genre, the most versatile in my opinion. And I feel this is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because almost every story nowadays has a romantic subplot, meaning it pairs well with almost every other genre. It's a bad thing because it has insidiously deprived the genre of the ginger to efficiently carry a story as its major or sole genre. Love is a universal, intense, and uncontrollable emotion. Everyone you know has an intense story to tell about their love life. Most people know what heartbreak feels like, and most people know what a love triangle looks like. But I bet you it is not everyone's love story that you are interested in, and this actually translates to cinema and TV because this genre is heavily dependent on characterization. If I'm not interested in the character, I most likely won't care who they are fucking. Note that I said interested, you don't have to love or hate them. Characters in romance movies are usually very fleshed out to allow us to connect to them and see ourselves in them or immerse ourselves in their world. Some of my favorite romance movies include Past Lives, Twilight New Moon, and Carol. I should point out, platonic relationships tend to hit me more emotionally than romantic ones. On that note, I would also like to recommend Bridesmaids. Horror. Obviously, I saved the best for last. Horror is a genre that is characterized by being able to evoke and toy with feelings of fear and disgust. Common subgenres include body horrors, slashers, psychological horrors, and Lovecraftian horrors. Imagine how successful you have to be to have a whole subgenre named after you. This genre is very unique because of a long list of phobias you can go through at your free time. Obviously, the fear of death is the major and easiest phobia for the horror genre to capitalize on. But horror movies also tend to tackle fear of the unknown, fear of confrontation, and even fear of failure. It is actually one of the more exciting genres, even though it is known for being bleak and dreary. It can also be used to express hope and triumph because of the very nature of overcoming fear. A lot of people assume that I watch horror movies because I don't get scared. But the truth is, I get very scared, and that actually adds to the allure. Some of my favorite horror movies include 2013's Evil Dead, When Evil Lurks, and The Babysitter. I will watch a horror movie in the night, but if they take light. So there you have it, the 10 most significant genres. All these genres have a rich history that shows their growth and development over hundreds of years. Please feel free to dive deeper. Also, it is growing more and more uncommon to have a single story fit just one genre. There are even stories that are released every day that break new ground and are even very difficult to categorize. You can take everything I mentioned as the genre I mentioned it under, but I myself know that a lot of them have one or more genres that they could fall under as well. But the underlying factor is a good story is never limited by genre. I genuinely feel bad for people that limit their perspective or experience to only selected genres. And I love people that always bring odd but unique movie suggestions for me. It can never be to your benefit to have a closed mind. Mark Twain said, an open mind leaves a chance for someone to drop a worthwhile thought in it. If you hear me now, you think I have sense. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Me sef, I know I dey talk. You know my favorite genre. Please comment your own and let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Tell me what you thought about the classification and what you would change. Please like because it means the world to me. Share the video with your friends and anyone you think should see this, and you will definitely see me soon.